Hey, welcome. So today we're going to talk about a really big idea, a fundamental shift in how we think about our data online. We're moving from a world where it just disappears to one where it actually lasts. Let's get right into it.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Residue. Something left over, unimportant, right? But is that really what all your contributions online are? Just digital scraps? So let's dig into this. What does it actually mean for data to be treated like residue? What does that look like in our day-to-day lives online? Well, it's a cycle that's probably all too familiar. You make something, a post, a design, some piece of information. A platform immediately grabs it for whatever it needs, and then poof. For you, it's basically gone. It just vanishes into the machine, and its original value to you is completely lost. And this really lays out the core conflict, right? You've got the old way, where data is just residue. It's single use, and then it vanishes. But then there's this new way, a model where data has a history, where it stays put, and where its value actually grows and compounds over time.
Okay, so this brings us to a huge point. That whole residue frame of mind, it's not just a bad way to look at things. It's fundamentally wrong. We have to completely rethink what it is we're actually creating online.
So you got to ask yourself, if it's not just residue, what is it? When you post something, write a line of code, share an idea, what are you really putting out there? It's so much more than just a bunch of ones and zeros. And this is where we get to the real heart of it. Our data isn't just passive information. It carries our effort, all the time and skill we poured into it. It carries context, the why and the how behind its creation. And maybe most importantly, it carries our judgment, our unique point of view, our decisions. And here is the direct result of that old model. The very moment our effort, context, and judgment get captured by a platform, we lose our connection to it. We have no idea how it's being used, and we for sure have zero control over its future. So, if the problem is treating our data like this weightless, disposable stuff, what's the solution? Well, it's about giving our data history. Because history gives it weight.
The key concept here is called provenance. Now, you've probably heard that word when people talk about like a famous painting, and it means the exact same thing for our data. It's the complete, verifiable history. Just like an expert can trace a masterpiece back to the artist's studio, provenance lets us trace a piece of data all the way back to its source, carrying all that original effort and context right along with it. So, how do you actually build this? Well, it rests on these 4 key pillars. The data has to be structured on purpose. It's got to be verified so we know it's legit. It needs to be attributed to its creator. And it has to be fully traceable back to its origin. These are the things that give data a permanent history. And once data has this kind of history, everything changes. Its value is no longer a one-shot deal. Think about it. It's like a writer's notes or a designer's first sketches. Because their source can't just be erased, they can be held, they can be reused, they can be built on, all without losing their original identity. And this is where things get really profound. Because when intelligence starts to compound from our data, a supercritical question comes up. Who's actually benefiting from all of it? I mean, really stop and think about that. In the old model, our data vanishes into these big platforms, and any intelligence that's built from it, well, it benefits the platform, not us. But if data has provenance, if it stays connected to us, the creator, well, who benefits then? It totally flips the script. Which brings us to our final point here, and a whole new reality for our data that honestly just wasn't possible before. This is the real game changer. All that effort, all that context and judgment we pour into our work, it's no longer lost to the void. For the very first time, it has a permanent home. 2 simple words, but they represent a complete revolution in how we value our digital contributions. It stays, it lasts, it endures, and it stays connected permanently to you, the creator. So, I want to leave you with this one last thought. Just imagine for a second if every single thing you ever made online, every idea, every photo, every piece of work had a permanent, traceable history that was always connected back to you. What would that story, that permanent record, say about you?